With all the recent news of the Super Mario Galaxy movie, I had to think, who are some of the characters that we possibly might see in the Mario Galaxy movie? I'm talking about from extremely rare to probably common of amount of the characters we might see. Let's go with number one. I do think Princess Daisy might be in the mix. Let me explain. First of all, we know that Rosalina is going to be the new princess that we're going to be introduced to, coming from another galaxy, another universe with the Star Festival. Could there be a possibility of we see Daisy come into the mix when they go to another galaxy? That's possible, as we know we're going to go to the Sand Kingdom in Odyssey. What if they go to like a Daisy level galaxy? Maybe Daisy is chilling on another galaxy. That could possibly be a mix. Daisy's a big character in the Mario universe, you know, kind of like a 1B to, you know, Princess Peach, and kind of like a 1C to Rosalina. You know, obviously Daisy's a pretty mainline character. She's in Smash. She's been around forever. She's in more games than Rosalina. So you would think that we possibly might see Daisy in the mix. Now, if I had to give this on a 1 to 10, on a scale from 1 to 10, I do think it's probably gonna be around a 6 that we might see Daisy, maybe as a post-credit scene, because as we know, they teased Yoshi in the post-credit scene. So are they gonna tease Daisy in the post-credit scene? Maybe that's something we could see. That could be one of the surprise characters that we see in the mix. Maybe that's one of the characters that we might possibly see in another galaxy. Like I said in previous videos, there's a lot they can do with the galaxy format, because they can travel to any galaxy and be like, hey, I want to be here, right? So anybody can be on those galaxies. Daisy, you know, Toad, whoever. It doesn't even matter at this point. Like, any character can be in any of those galaxies. I'll give it a 6 that we might be able to see Daisy. But let's go to number 2. I'm going to go with the Koopalings. Now, the Koopalings, we know they're kind of like Bowser's minions slash situation. They help Bowser Jr. with pretty much capturing any game out there, you know, when talking about Super Mario Bros. Wii, to any of those games out there. The Koopalings are pretty big. Like I said, they're in pretty much a lot of the games. They're in Smash. You know, they've been the main antagonists in a lot of the, you know, the single player 2D Mario game. Could we see the Koopalings? I think this is going to be an 8 out of 10. I do think there's a big possibility that we might see the Koopalings. First of all, if the rumors are true that Bowser Jr. has gone to a bunch of universes and taken them over in these galaxies, each individual galaxy is going to be ran by a different Koopaling. So let's say Mario goes to 4 with Luigi, and Daisy and Rosalina and Toad and Peach go to 3 galaxies. A Koopaling is running every single universe. Anybody out there, man, that can be some of the characters that we might possibly see. And Mario and Luigi's job is to kick them out. Maybe one of the Koopalings is running the Sand Kingdom, and Mario and them have to defeat them in order to, you know, claim the galaxy. Because like if we said it's true that Rosalina and them are fleeing their galaxy, they need help. It's being taken over by Bowser Jr. This is something we possibly could see. Each Koopaling is taking over each galaxy, 7 galaxies, including Bowser Jr. Maybe have a surprise character in there. Maybe Magic Koopa takes over one of them. It doesn't matter. My whole point is that I think there's a big possibility we might see the Koopaling. Bowser Jr. is very tight with the Koopalings, and I do think in terms of like threat, Bowser Jr. by himself with the paintbrush might be able to take down Mario and Luigi. But like I said, if there's Peach, Rosalina, all that stuff, I do think we might see the Koopalings though. Maybe as a cameo. Maybe they're taking over the universe. Maybe they're taking over the galaxy. That could be possibly something we see. So I think there's a big possibility that we might see the Koopalings. I'm going to give that an 8 out of 10. But the last character I'm going to talk about both Wario and Waluigi. This is a massive rumor that we might possibly get. Now, is it more likely that we see them in a post-credit scene? I'm going to say that. I'm going to say post-credit scene is probably going to be Wario and Waluigi. They're 2 massive characters. They're just as big as Yoshi. They're in a ton of Mario games. They're in a ton of mainline Mario games. Wario has his own spin-off, WarioWare. Could we see Wario and Waluigi come together? I think we could. There are some early rumors out there that basically tease that Wario's going to be in the film because he's like a disgruntled co-worker of Mario and he's trying to get back. I really don't think that's the case. I don't think so. That doesn't rhyme with me, because if Mario and them are in the Mushroom Kingdom, why would Wario, you know what I'm saying, like co-worker? Mario and them were a plumbing company by themselves. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they're related to the Mario, because as we know, Wario and Mario and Waluigi and Luigi, they're kind of like the anti-villains, you know, they're anti-villains of the original characters. So I'm going to give this maybe a 5 out of 10. I think a 5 out of 10 that we might see Wario and Waluigi, just because there's a lot of characters, man. Look at all the voice actors. They're all really pretty much A-list actors, right? Who are you going to cast as Wario and Waluigi that's not going to make a lot of noise? Like, you would want the reveal of Wario and Waluigi because they bring more attention. Oh my god, Wario and Waluigi are in the film, like just more attention to it, right? I don't think so. I do think if it's the case, we are going to probably get it as a post-credit scene. Maybe they come in the mix. Maybe we see them working on something and they turn around and they're going to be the next villains. I don't see Wario and Waluigi being in the main movie. There's just, not because they can't make it work, just because there's so many characters. There's so many characters, like, right? Like Yoshi, Rosalina, Bowser Jr., the Koopalings, Bowser, Mario, Luigi, Princess Peach, Toad, no Donkey Kong or Diddy Kong. Like, there's a lot of characters in the mix. So I do think Wario and Waluigi, it's probably going to be a 5 out of 10 for me. Majority in the post-credit scene. I do think if we're going to have a post-credit scene, which I'm assuming we will, they will be the post-credit scene. If I had to bet my money on it, I do think Wario and Waluigi will be the post-credit scene. I do think, like, you know, the Sonic movies and, you know, stuff like that, they like to tease new characters in the post-credit scene. So I do think the tease will be a new character. Might be Daisy or Wario and Waluigi. I don't think Daisy's big enough to kind of get her own post-credit scene, respectfully. I think Yoshi's a massive character. Wario and Waluigi are 2 massive characters. You have to have them in the mix as well. So yeah, guys, these are some of the characters I think. I think the Koopalings, I think Princess Daisy, and possibly Wario and Waluigi could be in the mix. There's a lot lot of stuff they're hiding. Like, you know, like Chris Pratt said, there's a lot of characters out there that still need to be revealed. Like, they weren't in the trailer. Was he talking about Yoshi and Birdo? Maybe. I don't think he was talking about Birdo specifically, but Yoshi's obviously a fantastic character. But guys, who do you think we might get in the Mario movie? Do you think that's all we've gotten, or do you think there's more that needs to be revealed? Let me know in the comments, man. But if you guys can, hit that like button, hit that sub button. We're posting new videos every single day, whether it's Mario, Sonic, the Avengers, Five Nights at Freddy's, anything out there, man. Amen. I'll see you guys in the next video.